You're watching Spectrum News 1. It's 4 o'clock. Beyond the Sport, presented by Spectrum.
It's time. Welcome back into Beyond the Sport. I am Travis Strachek. So what happens when the biggest football games of the year converge into a two-day span? Well, I'm not really sure, but I'll let you know after this weekend. So much happening. State championships on the line in Arlington and the first weekend of college football playoff games on campus. Whew, the 12-team format is here. It is an improvement on how a national champion is decided, in my opinion. Complications. And if you listen to any college coach this week, you heard exactly what their complaints are. Here's Adam Rosso with more.
I'm going to go drill down a little rabbit hole here.
Two coaches.
We talk about making a system that is all great for them, but we haven't.
Got to their Festivus grievances a little early this year.
There's no other sport at all that has free agency in the season. It's sad. It's terrible.
Because of the chaos of the college football calendar.
It just seems like it's a little bit of a broken model, but it's the model that we have right now.
Texas's Steve Sarkisian and SMU's Rhett Lashley both lamented the first 3 weeks of December. A period for them that included National Signing Day, a conference championship game, the opening of the transfer portal, and preparation for the college football playoff.
We got to look long and hard at the schedule. Coaches have been saying this for the last 3 or 4 years with all these changes. And what happens is we just make all these random changes because we don't want to get sued, or we don't want to do this, or we don't want to do that.
The biggest source of frustration is the December opening of the portal.
Hard to think that the NFL would want, Pat Mahomes, Josh Allen, Jalen Hurts all being free agents the day that the NFL playoffs begin. But that's the world we're living.
You get a chance to play in the college football playoff, yet you are either forced to decide, do I go in the portal or not? Or, let's call it like it is, people are bombarding our roster trying to pick people off our roster, and we're trying to focus on the playoff. Oh, and they got finals.
That last part is the real dilemma. The academic calendar that ends in mid-December versus the football calendar that now stretches to mid-January.
And so you have this group of young men that we've allowed to transfer that all want to be at their new school for the start of the spring semester.
All right, so what's the solution to the chaotic schedule?
Yeah, the real easy thing is you don't have a transfer portal in December, and it solves all the problems.
Or maybe college football gets a complete overhaul.
Reset the calendar to some degree to fit what the playoffs would look like, or we take a hard and a real serious look at more of an NFL model to where free agency doesn't begin until maybe the spring. Maybe we don't have spring ball anymore. Maybe we have OTAs and mini camps, and we adjust it completely.
Something that probably isn't happening in the immediate future, meaning Sark and Lashley's Festivus grievances might be on repeat next holiday season.
Thanks so much, Adam. And as is the new norm, the transfer portal has been smoking the past few weeks since the doors swung open. Let's go through some of the biggest moves from Texas natives. The guy who gathered the most attention has been former Lake Belton star Micah Hudson, a total what the heck happened freshman year at Texas Tech. He jumped to the portal. Texas A&M made him a priority. He's going to be an Aggie. Well, just like Big Brother, that's the path for former Manor Mustang Prince Will Umanmielen. He signed with Nebraska out of high school, but is transferring to Ole Miss just like his brother Princely did last year. Speaking of Manor, the running back pipeline that produced Taj Brooks at Texas Tech is being tapped into again. Quentin Joyner, leaving USC, headed to Lubbock to replace Brooks, just like he did in high school. Red Raiders not dry in the NIL funds right now. And switch up in the SEC. Five-star QB prospect Jackson Arnold had a disappointing year at Oklahoma, so he's leaving those plains and headed to the plains of Auburn. That's just a sprinkling of what's been going on. Could honestly spend the whole show on the transfer portal topic. My thoughts, either move the season up and finish the year by New Year's, then open the portal after that so guys can switch schools mid-semester, or only open the portal, like, say, in May after the spring semester and tell the guys who know they want to leave. Well, it's tough. You just have to wait. And look, Sark can't complain too much about the portal. It's been pretty good to him. Just look at his receiving core, parts of his defensive line, and the impact safety he got this year.
December 16th, 2020, a memorable morning for Andrew Makuba. The young man born in Zimbabwe, who found football after a move to Texas, was signing with one of the most prestigious programs in the country, Clemson.
With Clemson, it's just the consistency of the coaches is just, caught my eyes. I mean, I know all the coaches are going to be there for the next couple of years I'm here, so I feel real confident with that coaching staff.
For 3 years, the coaching staff delivered on what they promised and took care of Makuba.
My time in Clemson was some of the best times I've had in my life. I've had a lot of fun in Clemson, and I wouldn't take that back for nothing. They took a young kid from Austin, Texas, like you said, I've never visited campus at all, never knew what campus looked like. My first day on campus when I moved in as a true freshman, and those guys, they took care of me. They made sure I was good at all times, and they helped me come a long way, and they brought me along, and I really appreciate them for that, and that means a lot.
He enjoyed a lot of success and played a lot of football at Clemson, but after last season, he felt change was needed.
I just needed a reset in my life, just all around, not just football, but just life in general. And, I felt like that was the right time for me to make a move and try to find myself and find something to get me going, And I believe I found that, and I found myself now, as you can tell by how I've played this year and what I've done this year, and you can tell the difference from the past couple of years, so.
His calling was to come home. The product of LBJ High School in Austin was transferring to Texas.
Everything just was right about this school. I feel like the program changed. I like the direction where the program was heading. Obviously moving to a bigger conference, and really mainly just being closer to family and home. I feel like that's what I needed at that point in my time in my life, and I felt like the only thing I could lean on was family, so I feel like coming home was the best thing I could do.
And Makuba has been right for the Longhorns, a starter all season and a big reason UT has one of the best defenses in the country.
And intercepted by the Longhorns. Andrew Makuba, the Clemson transfer.
His ball skills are really, really good. He can play man like no other. He can play man like a corner. And then y'all saw it on Saturday. He can go strike anybody.
Thanks to Makuba and the success overall of this team, they're in the college football playoff, and their first-round opponent, Clemson.
Yeah, it's the Makuba Bowl on Saturday. So there's so many storylines about Quinn, about Cade, about myself. But Andrew, those are all his guys. He knows every single one of them. It's going to be an interesting game for him, but he's definitely ready. He's going, taking the extra mile to go be ready for this game, and he's going to do what he does.
Just to see his transformation from high school to college and what he experienced over there, you could see that he had a leadership role over there, and he was grown into a right person and a right man over there. So I know they're doing a good job with that, being over there after we got Andrew back. But, it's going to be amazing for him. I know he's excited. I know he's amped up, and I just can't wait.
At the end of the day, we all trying to win, so at the end of the day, it's our business. But, after the game, we cool again.
So many connections in this game. Makuba with his ties, the Quinn Ewers, Cade Klubnik rematch of the 2020 state title game. A lot of Westlake guys that gave Ewers and the Southlake offense trouble that night are now on his side as Texas teammates. Add that into the win or go home stakes. Man, pretty cool. All right, time for a quick break, but when we come back, it's time to get into the high school scene and talk state championship football, a future Frog showing out on the biggest stage. Keep it right here.
At your evening on Spectrum News 1, covering the great state of Texas is our privilege.
And that means we have a responsibility to provide impactful reporting across our communities and deliver the stories that matter most to Texans.
Every evening, we ensure you have in-depth coverage of the day's developing stories and how they affect you. Plus, your latest forecast to prepare you for tomorrow.
Your evening on Spectrum News 1, weeknights starting at 5 p.m. Central.
I love people. I love telling their stories, listening to them. That's something I did as a therapist. It's something I do every day as a journalist, and it is my joy to connect with people directly. Here at Spectrum News 1, we build a relationship with the communities we serve, and we stay with them. And I love that people can be empowered with information to make decisions that benefit their lives. I'm Dr. Nicole Clark, anchor, Spectrum News 1.
It is no secret. I love high school football. State championship week is one of my favorite things to cover. I also love college football. Having playoff games on campus, one of the best parts of the new format. Having both of those great things on the same weekend, not my favorite, because selfishly I can't be at both, but who cares about me, honestly? The games go on, and some of the coolest stories always come out of the teams winning titles in Arlington this week. Robbie Fueling has more on a small school QB finishing out his high school career on top.
Back in Columbus, Texas, they will talk about Adam Schobel for years to come. He's the young man who led the Cardinals to a 3A state championship and the young man with a bright future in Fort Worth.
With a cannon for an arm and legs that can buy time to extend plays like this, Adam Schobel has been the heart of a Columbus team that has outpaced and outclassed opponents all year long.
Are you not entertained? Adam Schobel just playing a little backyard ball. Go deep, bro! Hits Elijah Usher, who climbs the ladder.
A staggering 428 yards of total offense, paired with a defense that refused to break under pressure. The Cardinals cemented themselves in Texas high school football history, winning their first ever state title.
Coach Matt Schobel and his team have achieved the goal of becoming Texas high school state champion.
As Adam hugged his father and head coach Matt Schobel beneath the bright lights of AT&T Stadium, that moment started to sink in.
Easily my favorite victory I've ever been a part of at any level or any, as a player or coach.
We've worked so hard, our whole team, being able to, like I said, being able to do it as a senior. This group has been through so much. Being able to finally get over the hump and win one, it's really special for me, our team, and our community.
Very few relationships capture the unique bond between father and son, coach and quarterback. Here it's on full display. The closing scene to one heck of a story, and the perfect prologue to another. Adam is committed to his father's alma mater, TCU.
It's where I'm meant to be. My family's all been there. My cousin, y'all saw him play tonight. He's special. Being able to go play with him, have him right down the hallway. It's been a lifelong dream. Being able to live it out, it's really cool.
A Schobel family affair. Matt and Aaron played for the Horned Frogs back in the late 90s and went on to have successful careers in the NFL. The torch is now passed to Adam and John.
My last couple years with the Eagles, they were young. They were, 2, 4, 6 years old, something like that, when my career ended. And, from probably early on, you could tell that they were really, really interested in it.
From a little kid playing catch in the backyard against my cousins and playing catch with my dad, those are some of my specialist memories. So really cool to be able to go out as a senior with my dad, my cousins, my brother, and all my teammates to go out on top. It's special.
So his name is carved into Texas high school football lore, and his command of the game gave TCU a taste of what lies ahead.
All right, good work, Robbie. High school football, it is so full of family connections, but that's about as cool as it gets, what the Schobels got to experience on Thursday night. Also, shout out to Grayson Rigdon, the six-man legend who transferred to Columbus and scored 4 TDs in that title game. So, look, we started the football season having a discussion about dynasties. Are they good for the sport? My argument was, sure, they're fine, and they're cyclical. Back in the day, Permian had their run, and then powerhouses like Southlake and Lake Travis emerged, and most recently it was Duncanville, DeSoto, and Aledo. They dominated championship weekend the past 2 years, and they were all great again this year, but they didn't make the title game because the sport is cyclical. Those programs could be right back at it next year, or new dynasties could emerge. That is the fun of it. In any sport, honestly, there are always a few teams that seem to have a chance to win it all each season. Let's talk women's hoops. South Carolina, UConn, LSU, all back in the top 5 of the rankings this season. But you know who's trying to enter the conversation? It's TCU. They're healthy, their best players are back, and they added some major talent. Robbie Fueling has more.
Sedona Prince, Madison Connor, Haley Van Lith, all names woven into the fabric of TCU women's basketball. But here comes Donovan Hunter, making sure they've got company.
Three-pointer from the wing, bangs it down. That's Donovan Hunter. Great offense by TCU.
She is an elite defender, incredible, humble, pure point guard. That's pass first. impacts winning in ways that the box score doesn't always tell. And so she's just scratching the surface of her full potential.
Potential like Donovan's doesn't come around often, but what's the story behind it? That's what truly sets her apart. She picked up a basketball in kindergarten, not because it was handed to her, but because it's in her blood. Her father, a coach and trainer, made sure of that.
When my dad was on dad duty, I was always in the gym. So it kind of picked up from there, and I always wanted to like be with the boys and play with them and touch basketballs. So it started very young.
To this day, her dad watches proudly from the stands or back home in Oregon. Still her biggest fan, and occasionally, still her coach.
He would kind of give a whistle, or he was very good with if I looked up at him, like say if my shot's off or if I'm lacking in something. Since he trained me my whole life, he's able to just like quickly show me something, you know, elbow in, he'll just do small little gestures. So
Hunter, huge! Donovan's collegiate journey began in Corvallis, where she led the Oregon State Beavers to an Elite Eight appearance just a season ago. But her drive to grow pushed her to find a new home.
I just had really good conversations with Mark, really personable, heart-to-heart conversations about what my goals were for basketball. TCU was just a great thing. I prayed on it. I wasn't going to put too much thought into it. You know, like, Lord, whatever is meant for me, just bring to me. And they called me, they came to me, and it was just a perfect opportunity.
And from the outside, you just think it's plug and play. You just take a player and they magically, you know, learn your system. But what she's doing is really hard. You're learning a brand new system with a brand new team, brand new teammates, brand new coaches as a point guard.
The Horned Frogs haven't danced in March since 2010, but Donovan and the rest of these stars hope to change that narrative.
We have talent left and right here. We have such a deep team, so the talent aspect is not the issue. So I'm very confident in our team. I know that we can do amazing things we already have throughout the season, so just making sure that it's a standard so we don't fall off course.
It's so easy as humans to take your foot off the gas, especially in sports, but it's a constant reminder, and the South Carolina game was an ultimate reminder of we're not at the pinnacle, they are. This is where we're at for that 40-minute game, and so that was a healthy reminder. We got a lot of work to do.
All right, still to come on Beyond the Sport. Texas Next delivers us another big-time prospect from South Oak Cliff. More on this future Razorback after the break.
Weather can be beautiful, inconvenient, and at times powerful, and it affects everything we do. At Spectrum News 1, our weather experts update you with the information and the context you need so you can better plan your day. And we do it every 10 minutes. We're the calm in the storm, Weather on the Ones on Spectrum News 1. And get your weather anytime on the Spectrum News app.
South Oak Cliff has established itself as a premier program the past few seasons that also pumps out elite talent. This year they have a linebacker who's headed to Arkansas in the future that has helped them become a dominant defense. Adam Rosso has more in Texas Next.
My passion really developed, I'll say, when I was younger. It sparked more when I got here, I feel like. So I really amped me up to be the best player I really can be, because the people I'm surrounded around, they really boost you up. Coaches give me the tools. I just use them the best way I can. Favorite thing to do is run, because I feel like I got a lot of speed. I can really use it to my advantage. Like if I run a certain way, run at a certain speed, the O-lineman can't touch me.
Tackle by number 9, Jake Shelton.
like this is the get back here. We lost something that was in our grasp last year. We lost something that we knew we could have won. And we got something we know we could win this year. We just got to get back. Trying to win, put on the city, trying to build a legacy, build a dynasty. Feeling like getting on, I can go home, I can go out here and play for the crowd, the community. People in Oak Cliff, they don't really have the chances most people get. And I feel like with us playing on the field, we can really give opportunities out for kids.
Earlier in the show, we detailed the Clemson connection between Texas safety Andrew Mukuba and his former team, but this game is surprisingly packed with players that are linked to one another. Let me tell you a little bit about Clemson QB Cade Klubnik and Texas safety Michael Taaffe. Going into the 2020 season, Taaffe was coming off being named the defensive MVP of the state title game and looking for a repeat during his senior season. Klubnik was heading into his junior year and taking over the starting QB spot at Westlake High School when society shut down because of COVID. Those guys then went to work, gathering their teammates together to practice at the fields outside of the high school. Taaffe was locked in as a starter on defense, but kept telling Klubnik they would need him to play receiver. Klubnik kind of downplayed it a little bit that he'd be on both sides of the ball, but still would throw balls to him during those practices and be as demanding on Taaffe as he would on any other receiver. Wouldn't you know, in the most important moment of the season, when they were trailing North Shore in the final minutes of the state semifinals, it was Taaffe who Klubnik would turn to make the biggest catch. The next week, Klubnik and Taaffe each had huge games in helping Westlake beat Southlake Carroll, led by Quinn Ewers for the 6A state title.
It feels a little weird watching on tape, watching Cade on tape, knowing that he was my quarterback for a couple of years, and now I'm playing against him. It's going to be so fun. Me and Cade were throwing the ball, running routes, and figuring out every single avenue how to win the state championship. And so that's how me and Cade kind of took off, was through COVID, and we had nothing to do but become best friends because we were trying to go win a state championship.
Best friends, yet pure foes when on opposite sides. It's the only way it could be for Taaffe and Klubnik, two of the fiercest competitors you're going to find on a football field.
I'm a competitor is to take my opponent's soul, and that's what I try to do. So no matter if it's my best friend or the guy that I hate the most on this planet, that's my job, that's my goal on the field. I don't assume that there's going to be a lot of sliding out of Cade come Saturday. There's probably not going to be a lot of stepping out of bounds, especially if he sees 16. So he's gonna try to impose his will on me. He's definitely gonna try to lower his shoulder on me, and he's gonna tell me about it too if that's what happens. So I'm gonna be ready for that, and vice versa. I'm gonna be ready to lower my shoulder on him. So it's gonna be fun, and our mindset is win or go home, and that's what it takes.
It's so crazy to think that not only was Taaffe on that defense that helped Westlake beat Quinn Ewers and the Dragons, but so was a young Ethan Burke and Colton Vosick, a pair of defensive ends now at Texas. Even with all that talent, that game will forever be known as the Dodge Bowl because, it paired Todd Dodge on the Westlake side, coaching against his son Riley on the Southlake side. So a little trip down memory lane for you as we wrap things up this week. We will be back for our high school football special show next week, wrapping up the season. Until then, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, and the best wishes.
Beyond the Sport, presented by Spectrum.